Hi. Hi, everyone. Thank you for being here, all 20 of you. Beautiful way to spend a Tuesday afternoon, I think. How is everybody? Let me know if you can hear me, as usual. My sound is all. I ordered, somebody commented on one of my videos that I should order like a Booyah Bluetooth microphone. I ordered it. It's supposed to be here today, and I think it's one that like clips onto me so I won't be so echoey because of the massive space that I'm in with very little furniture. So, hi, yes, ma'am. Yeah, it's a thing. It is. We're gonna watch it. We're gonna get into it. Hi, Belinda believes, and Carol. Hi, Johnny. Good to see you. There was like 900 people in that chat when that went down yesterday, and I was there and then I left, and then Justin actually texted me and he's like, "Gee, come into the live. This is big." So I went back and yeah. And I gotta say, love him or hate him, clutch them pearls. He does the thing. He does it. He's good at what he does. And I say, like when I'm doing this, I'm literally stumbling my way through it, and I'm so concerned with chat and making sure that we're talking about what everybody wants to talk about that I feel like I should be doing other stuff behind the scenes where you can tell Justin is actually, he's on it. He's doing his stuff. He's organized. He knows what he's going to bring up next. And I mean, I have a good idea of what I want to bring up, but for the most part, I don't. Like I do usually have a plan, but then you guys distract me with your awesome comments. So, Waynons, haven't seen you before, but thank you for being here. And I think, Sailor Moon, hi, Sailor, and Allison. Alberta Robinson, I love it. Are you from Alberta? Just reporting, hi. Cheryl Hebert, how are you? Thank you for being here. Hi, Ginger Snap. And Seawood, awesome to see you here. Thank you. Sarah, love to see you. Thank you. It was like I could believe what he said, so I made him repeat it. I emailed Sunny his live straight away. Yes, did Sunny respond to you? She's been super busy, so. Miss Little Mama, hi. I don't think I've seen you here before. If I have, I'm sorry. I have a massive case of menopause brain. It is getting better because I started taking omega-3. So hopefully it gets better. Cindy Clark, awesome to see you. Thank you so much for being here. Daphne to C's showing some good stuff today. I wanted to watch her, but here's the thing, guys. I started this thing where I was like, send me pictures of your animals. And then I forget to take the pictures of the animals until right before I'm supposed to go live. And then I noticed that Daphne was on, and I'm downloading pictures and trying to put them in a relatively organized fashion and get all the names right and everything. So I'm my own worst enemy. I really am. No, you're not from Alberta? That's maybe your name is Alberta? My bad. Alberta. And you said that with such force. Do you not like Alberta? Yes, definitely switch you got 3 little squiggly lines at the top. Click that. Hit all and not just top. That way you'll get all the messages. You'll see all the chat. This little mama, my name changed again. It's Tiffany Lynn. Oh, okay, good to know. Tiffany, great to see you. Thank you for being here. And Kelly, hi. Joe Friday, what's that? Nana, hi Nana. Hi Sunset Lake, 666. Dark. Oh, from Australia. Holy smokes. Angie Nora. Thank you for watching. Probably not sure overlook. Would you believe that I forgot what that was in response to already? Like I'm the worst, you guys. Like I'm the worst. Watching me would be like having a chat conversation with Dory, the fish, Finding Nemo. That's me. It's so bad. It's so bad that I started taking omega-3. Like it's terrible. And Nova Scotia. That's good. But why Alberta? Why Alberta? And I love your little picture. He's adorable. Oh, hi Ben. Thank you for being here. And I think I'm at the end. I'm glad, Seawood. So between the two of us, we should be able to keep a thought straight. So last night, or should we start with the pet thing? Should we do that at the beginning or at the end? Because I did it at the beginning last time. I think that we should definitely continue with that. Is it an image? I don't think so. So I'm gonna have to open it and then we'll look at our animals because they're adorable. My Harley is laying just, you can see his little foot in the corner down there. He will make an appearance. I am positive of it. He loves his attention. But then we're going to get into some stuff because there's some stuff that happened, well, over the last little while that's really kind of ticked me off. But, all right, where is it? Hang on. I'm going to get behind in chat right away because I'm doing this. Oh, I see. Wait. Good. Is this totally annoying you guys? I bet you it is. Oh, your chunkies, they are there this time. And I just absolutely love the names, by the way. Okay, let me see. I want to try just to share the file to see if that works better. Slides and PDFs. Lady. No, that was the last one. Shit. Nah, whatever. I'm just going to share I'll share the screen. Share the screen, guys. This is a lot of work. Cape Breton, Sunset Lake. I know many people on Cape Breton Island. Many people who are there now and many people who live and work in Alberta. Just saying. All right, here we go. Ready? All right, so here we go. Oh, sorry, Seawood, you gotta go. So, and again, some of you gave me permission to say whose pets these are, and some of you did not say one way or the other. And because I already told you what my day was like, trying to like remembering this and then putting it together really quickly, I'm just not even going to, but gorgeous pets, all of them. So this is little Oscar. Oscar passed away, I believe in 2024. He was 18, you guys. It's a good life for a puppy. So cute. And there's Rocky, and Henley is the white guy here. And I believe, Rena, this is your kitty. Or no, never mind. I can't remember whose this is, but you didn't give me a name. You didn't give me a name. And then here's Boopies. I believe this is you, Rena. Boopies, look at this. Oh, hey girl, just so cute. So cute. I love it. Rescue cat. Good hearts. You know, those of us who rescue animals, I think we have good hearts because animals have good hearts. Allie. Okay. Thank you. So Boopies is so adorable. I love the one with the cat or with the bird. You can just tell you'd love to get a piece of that. And look at this. So up here, I believe this was all number 2 who sent these to me. And so Johnny Cash, this rescue kitty passed away, but he's adorable. I love this, Odin and Winnie. And then look at this, member 2 sitting on Winnie. That's adorable. And member 2 again over here. So cute. So cute. Hi, Henry. Thank you for being here. And Frankie. Hi, Frankie. Did I say hi to you, Rita? I meant to. If I didn't, I meant to. Do you only have one dog now? Yes. Yes, I do. I used to have 2 giant, they're bull mastiff crossed with labs, but they really belonged to my ex. And even though I was the one that loved them and fed them and did everything, when I finally moved out of Fox Creek, we had joint custody of them, and their full-time home was with their daddy. So I didn't think it would be fair for me to take them. So they're still there. And I mean, I still see them on FaceTime and stuff. Like if I'm missing them, I will call them. We do FaceTime. And of course they can't see me. And I have a hard time believing that dogs can even hear over the phone. This sun, it was cloudy and rainy all day. I swear. Now all of a sudden, sun is in my face again. But yes, I only have one. Not sure if I did that, but thank you. And Miss V, thank you for being here. Okay, next page, because I got so many animals this time. There they are. Allie, aka Chunky Monkey, and Sadie, aka Pickle. Aren't those the cutest names for these little puppies ever? And then over here we have Maisie. So cute. Thank you, you guys, for sending in the pictures of your animals. I'm going to oh really, Bree? That's so funny. My daughter's name is her name is Brittany, but she prefers Bree. So, and she's my co-host on the podcast. So that's awesome. Bree and Char. Where are we here? And thank you for being here, by the way. I'm not sure if you saw Henry last time. I did have Cheese New up. I did show him. So he's adorable. It's absolutely adorable. Boston Terrorist. I can relate. I forgot to send you my pics. Absolutely. I have short-term memory loss too. I am Dory. But send them to me. I will try to remember. So anyways, I'm going to move on really quickly because, okay, so Hunter S. True Crime. I'm always pushing Hunter S. True Crime because I think he does an amazing job with the videos because they're not too long and they get to the point, right? And he always has good information in them. So I wanted to play one of his latest videos. And I'll tell you, like I had read the documents, obviously, over and over and over again. But I'm not sure why this Sadie loves pictures. That's amazing. But my dog doesn't. Like, I'll give him a pickle, he'll throw it on the ground, and he'll death roll it. Have you seen a dog do a death roll on something? He does that to pickles. It's bizarre. But anyways, so Hunter S. True Crime. I'm telling you right now, if you guys caught this in the documents and didn't tell me, I swear to God, we're going to be friends off. Because people have been talking, especially Daniel, has been talking about, well, after the polygraph test, everybody should have known. Everybody should have known that we were innocent. I didn't kill the kids. Malia didn't do anything. My mom didn't do anything. You know, we've all heard that over and over again, mostly from Daniel. Polygraph tests are the be-all, end-all. But I have to tell you, what Hunter S. True Crime did the other day, just to point something small out, it was great. And I'm hoping nobody caught it, because otherwise I'm just I'm clueless, number one. And number two, that means you guys aren't telling me stuff. We're supposed to be here working through the stuff together. Yes, let's do this. And while this is playing, I'm going to try to fix this situation somehow. I don't know how, but I'm I'm gonna figure it out. And before I do that, oh really? Is he that young? Aw. Well, send me pictures, Alberta. 3 Boston Terriers. So cute. Did that with cherries, really? Yeah. My old dog, he passed away in 2016. His name was Dozer. He was the cutest thing ever. And he would death roll on anything with a strong smell. And I mean anything. It could be poop, it could be cat litter, it could be pickles, it could be anything. Even if I bought him like salmon dog kibble, he'd death roll it. Anything with a strong scent, he just wanted to squish it. I don't know. It was cute, but it was also a little bit of a, All right, so let's, like I said, I'm going to fix my lighting issue so I don't blind everybody, including myself. And you guys are going to watch this, and then we're going to talk about it for a few minutes, and then we will get into the sleuther of the, did I say week or day or case? I can't remember what I said, but hats off to Justin. Awesome work. So let's do this.
You said they're flying in someone to do a polygraph
Wait a
test. Is
sec,
that
wait
on
a sec.
you?
I'm going to make
No, sir,
sure
just
first that we are volume up and we are full-ish screen. Let me know if you can hear it before I turn my stuff off. Hi, Sharon. Thanks for being here, Stella M, I believe. Thank you so much, Ben. It's a good thing for Ben because I have no organization. He is in my description, but I don't, the chat thing. Thank you, Ben. Okay. Okay. Tell me if you can hear the video good so I can turn my camera off and fix the lighting thing.
on me, but on everyone, that's what I asked for. I asked for that so early on, and there's not many places that do it in Canada, so they're flying somebody in.
Why do you think you need to do that? Do you think they don't believe you?
I think their side of the family doesn't believe me, and I just want to clear it up for everyone. Clear it up for everyone, not just the people online making crazy accusations and everything else.
Daughter might know more than you saying. I said, your daughter's lying. You must know what happens. Only 3 people in the state.
Exactly.
We had to do polygraph and everything. Cause
You did a polygraph too?
yeah, because we used to drop the kids off
Okay.
over there.
So you and Cindy and
Her
her
mother,
daughter?
because her mother was in the house before, and some of her cousins, they had to do polygraph.
The stepfather was always a prime suspect right off the beginning.
You felt that from the beginning?
Yeah.
But you don't feel that now?
No, I don't feel that at all. I asked for the lie detector exam, the polygraph exam.
Okay, you mentioned you offered to take a polygraph test.
Yeah.
Did the RCMP take you up on that?
Yes, they did.
And how did that unfold?
That unfolded in my favor. They obviously know I wasn't lying about anything.
So they said, yep, great, thank you, come in
Yeah.
for a polygraph test.
Yeah, it took a little while to set up, and
When did you do that test?
I don't know the exact date, but that would be at least 3 weeks ago, probably.
So roughly 3 weeks after the disappearance.
Yeah.
Were you nervous?
Yeah, I was extremely nervous. Especially with the first question they asked you, did you kill Lily and Jack?
That was the first question they asked you.
Yeah. Yeah.
What went through your mind when someone's asking you that question so point blank like that?
Your mind has a massive release of chemicals, I guess you would call them. It's like your stress levels just astronomically through the roof, and your body doesn't know what to do, because it's not every day the way you're hooked up to machines in an interrogation room where someone asks you questions like that.
What other kinds of questions did they ask you?
All the questions pertain to the death of Lillian J. Are you accessory to the murder of Lillian J? They were all,
So all of the questions assumed that the children are no longer alive.
yeah.
There were no questions at all about, did you take them somewhere? Could
No.
they be somewhere?
No.
Do you know who else actually took a polygraph test?
I mean, I do, but I'm not going to say anything that's going to impede the investigation.
Okay. When did you find out the result of your test?
Immediately right after.
What did they say to you?
You did a good job, you passed.
And how did that feel?
Good.
And did you feel that there was any further suspicion on you after that point, or was that sort of conclusive?
No, that was really when I seen the turning point for it's starting to taper off with investigators.
Do you know if Malaya has taken one?
I don't know if I can say it, but I will anyway. Yes, she did take one.
Okay, she took one. Do you know the result?
No. RCMP weren't allowed to tell me I asked.
How long was it before you actually sat there in front of the polygraph test?
I'm guessing probably a week, but it felt like longer than that, Daniel. Every day was so long.
I can imagine. I can imagine. Now, kind of transitioning to that polygraph, you go in. Did they give you the questions they were going to ask beforehand?
Yeah, they actually did give us the questions ahead of time. There was actually 5 questions. I don't know why it says in the documents there was 4. There was actually 5 questions they wanted to ask, and then they would throw in questions that they knew that were that you couldn't lie on, right? Like, have you ever lost your temper? Obviously, everybody has lost their temper before, so you can't. And then, but you're going to say that you never lost your temper before, and then they know that's a lie, right?
Yeah.
So they could find your baseline on that. But all my questions centered around the death of the children. Are you an accessory to killing Lillian Jack? Did you murder Lillian Jack? That's all the questions were based on that. I know the truth. I didn't kill Lillian Jack.
Well, those are 2. What are the other 3?
What they did was reword the questions, differently, right?
Did they ask you, like, do you know where they're at?
No,
Huh. That's an
no, they were just all on murder or accessory to murder. Do you know anything on the murders of Lillian Jack? Are you accessory to killing Lillian Jack? Did you murder Lillian Jack? It's just the same questions, but just the orientation of the wording was just changed.
Understood. Understood. And
But I didn't want questions like that. I said, let's do another polygraph, and that's of all the questions on disappearance. And I want everybody else polygraph the exact same way.
so you suspect that they didn't ask Malaya about the disappearance aspect?
They wanted to rule out death as quick as possible. So, because that would narrow everything down. Because if they knew that the children were deceased, that would completely narrow it down. They wouldn't have to ask them this on the disappearance.
So you take the polygraph test. Is there any like questioning after the polygraph?
No, I actually did 3 polygraphs back to back. It took a total of 3 hours I was there for.
Really? 3
Yeah.
And it was the same questions over
The
and over
same
again?
questions over and over and over. And then they
And
showed me a piece of paper at the end, and it said, like, it showed you like all the stuff on the polygraph, and I passed.
So you mentioned that you want some more polygraph tests. You've
Mhm.
included yourself in that as far as that you're willing.
Oh, 100%. I told investigators, I'll do as many polygraphs as it takes.
And you don't have to give names, but are there people in specifics that you want to take polygraph tests?
Yeah, there's many people that are involved in the case, including the individual or individuals that found the part of the blanket. They were never polygraphed.
Interesting. And so you want those that found certain things to also be polygraphed as well.
Yeah, because I think the people that found the only possible evidence during the search, they should probably be polygraphed, considering that their involvement. Well, I would like to go in for another whole round of polygraph exams. I mean, that would be, and maybe bring some new people in that are doing the polygraph exams. But I know I didn't do anything. I know Malaya didn't do anything. I know my mother didn't do anything. Those are 3 people on the property. I mean, after the polygraph exams, they should have known right there. We didn't kill any of the kids, or we didn't kill the kids.
Better. I think it's a little better. Hi, Char. Bye, Char. Or sorry, not Char. Missy. Okay. So, I look like a vampire. I don't even know how to make this better. Okay. I want to. So a lot of you guys picked this up. Hi to everybody that's coming in. Hi, member 2. I showed all of your babies. Thank you very much for sending in your pictures. What is the difference between truthful and past? There lies my question, you guys, because I didn't even notice that. So, is it a thing? I'm gonna mute this. Where's the? So, okay, so here's my thing. According to this, and it's true because he pulled up the documents, but for Wade, Cindy, and Cody, the wording actually says they were truth, or they passed and were truthful, right? But then with Daniel Malaya, it just says they were truthful and then it goes redacted. So what does that mean, you guys? What does that mean? Does that mean that they passed? Or I think that if it was the same as Wade, Cindy, and Cody, it would have the same wording, would it not? I mean, it's a thing, I think, isn't it? Don't you think? And maybe I'm just beating around the bush here, but to me, I think that it's an issue. Right there, see that? Indicated he was truthful, privileged information, aka redacted. Okay, so we all took that, and Daniel as well takes that as he was truthful. But what does it say here? What's the rest of it? Because in Wade's, or sorry, Cody's, and Wade and Cindy's say the same thing. Right. RCMP said Malaya was truthful when answering the following questions and then redacted. So what does that mean? What does that mean? And am I reading too much into it? Because I have a habit of doing that. I do have a habit of doing that. Overthinking and reading into shit that I shouldn't. Where is the next one? Oh, come on. Where is it? I know we had it in here. Did I miss it? Nope, right there. Anything, blah, blah, blah. I must have missed it. It's got to be here somewhere. Eh. Eh. Wade Paris underwent a polygraph examination in relation to this file. He passed the examination and was found to have been truthful. That's pretty clear. He passed and he was found to be truthful. That's a clear statement. Cindy indicated she was truthful. But again, redacted. Privileged information, you guys. What does that mean? Okay. Let me catch up in chat. I see, Taylor. Thank you for being here. And exactly what were the questions? And I probably missed a bunch of your fantastic questions about this. Go ahead and repost. We're not going to get too far behind in chat today. That's how the Mounties hide stuff and wording. Correct. I don't know if you could call it by like lying, because it's lying by omission, but it's not lying. It's just misdirecting maybe by omission or choosing what they share very carefully, which is why I will never stop believing that anything that is redacted in these documents, especially now that some have come out that have been unredacted, the redacted stuff has to be relevant to the current state of the investigation. I like to think the most simple answer, the RCMP just didn't want to reveal whatever it says under there. Maybe it's passed, maybe not, but they wouldn't want Daniel to know Malaya passed and vice versa. Yeah, that's kind of what I meant when I said it's relevant to their investigation. And that could simply just be what they're willing to share with the people involved, right? It could be that simple, but is it? Is that it? What are the differences you see in the reports, location, examiner, date? Does that matter, Sarah? Do you think? Why? What would be the relevance there? Do you think the lingo who be consistent throughout the whole document, but who knows? That's just what I'm saying. Does it mean nothing? Or does that word past mean something more? I think it does. Just my own personal. Is it the same sergeant summarizing? Maybe, maybe not, but if I'm not mistaken, it is the same document, so you would think one person was writing it. Because we got 500 pages and 12 documents, 12 files. So these are one file. You know what I mean? They're just summaries of stuff. The police just don't have enough evidence yet, that's all. So by law, they have to say it's not a criminal investigation. And not just that, they have more resources available to them quicker when it's a Missing Persons Act investigation. And if you remember to the interview that I think his name is Robert or something, but he's the lead major crimes investigator, said in that interview with Ali, I believe it was Ali, the most recent one about the cadaver dogs and the findings, what they didn't find, which is nothing, but he was careful to say a missing persons act investigation. They were saying a missing persons investigation for the longest time. This time he said a missing persons act investigation. It's all in words to me. But it's very observant. Where is he? Oh, this one? Yeah, for sure. I don't think they actually passed if it doesn't say so. Maybe Cindy has guilty knowledge from Malaya. That's where I'm going. That's what I think. I could be wrong. Was Cindy truthful but did not pass? Now, to me, total speculation. But because Malaya's actually said was truthful when answering redacted. So they had specific questions that she was truthful on, I think. But because that was so, I don't want to say ambiguous, but so specific, I don't think that they could say she passed overall. In total speculation. Not a full stop after truthful, only a colon, or is it a semicolon? Can't tell. Yeah, I don't know either, but I mean, obviously it's a continuation of the same sentence on this one, right? Didn't say lying. Well, it would say deceptive or deception. Past and truthful for Wade and only Wade and Cody. It does say Cody's too, that he passed. Ted Bundy passed. But was he being truthful? That'd be a big fat no. You think they're in the woods? I got a bigger question for you. If they got in the woods, why did nobody find them if it was only 20 minutes? I mean, even give it an hour. 6-year-old and a 4-year-old, or 6-year-old and a 4-year-old who didn't like being cold and wet. And Jack didn't like going in the woods. How did they get far enough that nobody found a single trace? Too bad we couldn't see the redacted. And that's kind of what I'm saying, because now certain parts have been unredacted and re-released. You can go to the courthouse and get them. So to me, I mean, it's very clear that the redacted parts are things that aren't for public consumption. That's the only thing that makes sense, because you can't say that there's personal information even in this section right here, right? It's not covered by the Privacy Act. This is covered by an ongoing and active investigation for 2 missing little kids, in my opinion. Absolutely. Who's buzzing me? He states didn't kill any of the kids, then corrects himself and says didn't kill the kids. It was an odd choice of words. I think even more odd that he felt the need to correct himself so quickly. Kind of like, in a way I can see it. You've got to take into account his vernacular and the way he speaks. And by this time, you guys, I think he's so hyper vigilant to defending himself and trying his best, which isn't very good, Daniel, saying, but trying his best to be clear in what he says, I guess, more clear than he has been in the past. But it backfires every time. Every time. Yes, it does not say they were lying, but maybe they were showing some level of deception on one or more questions. Yes. I'm having issues too, all day, every day. Don't even worry about it. This is the place for you. We're soul sisters. Why don't they use a polygraph when question the people in the first interview? Just saying. What is not said is just as significant as what is said, so it's hard to know. Yeah. See, Taylor? Yeah. It's a criminal investigation when a child is missing, and like I've said for the longest time, and I don't care if Kent or anybody else wants to argue with me, a crime has occurred. At this point, it doesn't matter what happened. A crime has occurred. The only way a crime hasn't occurred is if they wandered off into the woods in the morning where it was only 20 minutes and evaporated into thin air. That's literally the only way a crime hasn't been committed in this case. And even then, it's debatable whether or not neglect, because you'd have to show, I think, I wouldn't know because I can't relate to know, but I would think they would have to establish some kind of ongoing neglect for a criminal neglect charge. Not just like a one-off, if that makes sense. I don't know, but that's what I think. Yes, ma'am, knows it. She does. Hi, Maxie, Nova Scotia. Thanks for being here. The examiner, not the machine, makes the final interpretation. So passing means the examiner concludes you are not deceptive, but it doesn't guarantee truthfulness. Right, exactly, which is why they're not admissible in court. Hey, Joe. And Piers. I just did it again. I went right to the bottom. Sorry. I think they were gone longer and they didn't walk it. They both said kids will not cross the street. Makes me think they wanted to focus elsewhere. Stepdad and mom know something. I agree. They're ashamed. And I agree with that too. I think that if there is an innocent, any semi-innocent explanation for this, I think Daniel and Malera were both so ashamed at how neglectful they clearly were, even if just that morning. They were so concerned with covering their tracks in that sense that everything else just looks that much worse. Lynn, hi. Watching DT yesterday? Really? He said Justin Smith was on the road waiting for a lift around 9 a.m. Right. And when we play Justin stuff, we're going to come to a realization, I think. I did it again. I've got this little box that says hide current comment, and if I click on it, it just zooms me down to the very end of chat. So what if in his mind he was referring to his two other children, not thinking about Jack and Lily? That could work. It really could. It really could. You know what I mean? Like it's all a matter of controlling your own mind and your own thoughts. And that, an extension of that is the physiological and physical emotional responses that the lie detector test is measuring. So totally possible. 10 of hand, and those who harm the innocent and vulnerable are the worst of the worst and should be treated as such. We need a t-shirt that says that. There would be no benefit to hiding Jack and Lily, no reason to hide them or sneak off. Shout it from the rooftop, Sarah. Hi, Canadian Cat Lady. Agree, it's a crime to me unless I am shown differently. Well, correct, right? Evidence comes out pointing the other way, then absolutely. But just because the RCMP are saying there's no evidence of an abduction, there's no evidence of foul play, that's just what it is. There's no evidence of it. That doesn't mean they're not looking into it. right? This is interesting. I watched, I think it was W5 last night, and it was talking about the amount of children in Canada that are killed by their parents. 40% of the time it's the mother, and 60% of the time it's the father. How sad is that? That there's even a fucking statistic for that. And even then, neglect could be an argument, especially if Jack had wandered off before. Right. But I think, I mean, I don't know for sure, but I think the fact that Janie has admitted to hearing them and it's been established in their regular routine that Janie calls and lets the parents know when the kids are outside. The fact that it was ignored that particular morning, I think is interesting, number one. And number two, I think would kind of bolster a case for neglect, even if just a one-off. But then would it be a misdemeanor at some point? I mean, there's so much more to specifics when it comes to Canadian law that all we can do is speculate and say what we think should happen. Hey, hi, I know you. Part 2, I'll repost. Did I miss part 1? What are you talking about? Was DT talking to Justin? How else could he have that info? It was on the, was it police scanner, guys? But it was on something. But anyways, Justin Smith put in a tip offering, because he was waiting for a ride, he was aware of the traffic that was on that road that morning. So, and he did talk to police. So. In the US, polygraphs have flashing red lights and sirens that go off for every lie detected. And that isn't true. So sad. Hey, Leanne from Newfoundland, I believe, right? I'll make it 3. Take your time, Sharon. Canada is behind the times. Are we ever? And somebody said earlier, before I went live, I did see it. I was working on the pet thing. But somebody did say they were surprised that we do not have a sex offender registry. Maybe I misspoke at some point, but we do. We do indeed have that registry, but it's not available to the public. That is for law enforcement only. The public doesn't get to see that or have that information, which is just as bad as not having one. Because it's great that the police know where they are. It really is, but Privacy Act, it keeps them from letting the public know, for the most part, unless they're a danger to reoffend or whatever. In a lot of cases, in a lot of circumstances here in Canada, the criminals and the predators have more rights than our children do. And it's a problem. Malaya texted and said it's not illegal to lie to news, only to cops. Like she found that out for herself, not Daniel. She might have said the truth to them. Last seen at 8, and we got lies from all. Miss V, that's right. But I know exactly what you're talking about, and I cannot believe the stupidity of that statement. Just assuming that the police and CPS would know that Daniel was lying to everybody else but them is asinine to me. Like, asinine. And for anybody to believe that the RCMP thought that, well, it's not against the law to lie to you guys, but he's telling CPS and RCMP the truth. That's why he's not in any trouble for lying. That's not the way that works. They don't know what's the truth and what's not. It's stupid. So, I don't know if I want to get into this because that was one of my first theories. when I learned about Malaya's postpartum and her mental health issues and maybe possibly some abuse. I've since moved past that, not moved on from it. I mean, it still could be a factor, absolutely, but I've moved past that as any kind of an excuse, put it that way. But I started thinking that perhaps Malaya didn't hear or see anything that morning, and she was just literally trying to remember what Daniel said he heard and saw. Do you know what I'm saying? Because her interview didn't seem scripted to me, but it seemed like she was trying to remember something that wasn't her own memory, something that she had been told, and she was trying to relay it accurately. Does that make sense? And it's still on the table. I'm saying that I've moved past anything like that being an excuse for her not to be helping search for her kids. No offense, Malaya. All because of their shame. Do you think they'll hold Janie responsible? No, I don't. Because at the end of the day, who is the legal guardian? Who are the parental figures? If grandma, step grandma if the kids were in the care and custody of Janie, then yeah. But both parents were home. I don't think that she would hold any responsibility if they wandered off in the woods and she simply just didn't get up and call Malaya and let her know the kids were outside. I don't think that there's anything to legally hold Janie accountable for if that scenario is true. Hey, Meta. What? Meta. Sick. Oh, Meta's a catter. Yeah. And it's only Tuesday. Anyways, Jules, in my opinion, it would depend on what they find when the kids are located. If they can prove she somehow lied or covered it up, probably not neglect. And I think, I shouldn't say that. We're not going to talk about that right now. Sex offender registry? Absolutely. If they can do it in the States, they can do it here. Because no offense, Joe and everybody else from the United States, but your population is so much bigger. And for whatever reason, you have a lot more very volatile people and very much vigilante people. They are willing to take the law in their own hands. Where sure it happens in Canada, but not as much. Our population is so much smaller, and it sounds so. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but our society and our way of life is a little less intense than it is there. So if it can be done there, it should be done here. And these predators, who I don't think deserve any kind of normalcy or privacy in their day-to-day life when it comes to my children's safety. If you don't like it, move out of the neighborhood. Go create a camp for yourself. You know what I'm saying? I don't even care what it sounds like. If you're a predator, you're on a list, you should be camp. I vote for a concealed information test for all adults who were on the property. Yeah. That's too woke. What is? Hey, Travis. I was this close to catching up last night and getting to those documents they were going to talk about. I'm right there. I swear to God, I'm gonna do it. Would they come out and say it though? The cops. What? Say what? Why would you even want to lie to the news? Right? In a case that involves your two missing stepkids. So this is where my dichotomy is. I'm Switzerland, so we're not going to go there right yet. Public opinion seems to be Daniel's bread and butter. You know it. I know it. I think we all know it. Isn't that like stalling the search investigation by doing that? I think that he's causing more of a nuisance online for the RCMP because they do have to follow up on every lead. And every time he comes out and says something, probably 10 people who are watching YouTube and are on Facebook group chats where he's doing this stuff in, they're tipping that stuff in, right? So we went from having 2,000 tips to 4,000 tips to tasks, to 8,000 tasks, and now we're even above that. And those tasks are everything, including the tips. So I think that it's got to be annoying for them at the very least if they have established that Daniel is in fact telling the truth and they believe that he hasn't done anything. At the very least, his online activity causes so many tips to come in that they have to follow up on. So I really think he's a pain in their ass. I do. And I'll tell him that to his face. And I've told him, stop talking online. Little mama, inadvertently, with every lie he's told and every tip that's called in, it's dragging out the entire thing. I just said that. Me and you, I'm telling you, redheads, right on. In my opinion, I think someone coached them on what to say and how to keep it straight. That's possible. You never know. I don't think she did, no excuse. Yeah, I do. LOL, I can't write well my thoughts. I agreed for that. Thanks, Miss B. As if my brain wasn't scrambled enough. I appreciate that. Oh, a fourth person. Thanks for answering. I try to answer everything, which is why I'm always behind in the chat, and I believe Sarah is getting t-shirts made. There have been cases where people were held responsible for things like costs. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. If they're purposely doing it and found that there's intent there, then that would be criminal mischief in Canada. So, or impeding an investigation, obstruction, depending on what the situations are. Hi, Anne. She could have been on sleeping meds. Never know. In Nova Scotia, they don't want the public to know anything. They've even put something through that now you're not even allowed to make a complaint about your elected officials. Say, what? That's not right. You don't have like an ombudsman that you can email? I thought that Daniel said the kids had their overnight backpack, not the school ones. Maybe I got that wrong, but if so, then maybe he knew Malaya was up to something. So I'm pretty sure what you're speaking of, they did not have a school backpack. The backpack that Lily had, back in May, Daniel told me that backpack was a play backpack, that she used it for things like treasure hunting and such in the yard and out by the forts behind the house when his older kids were there visiting. And that Lily was always trying to take that backpack outside with her to play. But since then, we have also heard that Malaya bought that backpack for overnight trips to Nana Cindy's house. But because those overnight trips to Nana Cindy's house were very rarely done, she basically strictly used it for playtime backpack. And I believe I'd have to double check the conversation, but I'm pretty sure Daniel told me that it was filled with toys, treasure hunting stuff. For me, the register here is a tool to keep your kids safe as possible and something I really check into if moving. Are you in the States? Because that's what I would. I mean, I wouldn't be on there like a vigilante looking for the closest pedophile that I could go and harass out of my, like, I wouldn't do that. And I don't think a lot of Canadians would unless my kids lived in that neighborhood. And then I would have a problem with it. But at least then I could educate my kids about the person and stranger danger. And just because he lives right there doesn't mean he's not a stranger. The tool can be used by parents to help protect their kids and educate their kids. It's not, and I'm sure there are some whack jobs out there that would try to take the law into their own hands or whatever, whatnot. And I understand that there's different levels on this registry, and not all offenses that land you on that registry make them a danger to children. But I mean, sort the list out then, sort the system out then, because to me it should be for public consumption. We need to be able to protect our kids and our family. And I mean, they made the choices to do what they did, so live and learn. I really don't care. We are. It's a constant thing. I love it. I love you. Where else? Durwood should have those charges. He did steer the investigation in a certain way. I don't know at this point that I would support that, because I do believe that Durwood believed everything that he was being told. I think myself, there are certain type of, mostly males, who we call them conspiracy theorists, but they will, I'm not saying they're gullible and they'll believe anything, but they have a way in their mind to make things, it's cognitive dissonance. They just have a way of making things make sense in their own brain. And 9 times out of 10, it has to do with either the government or law enforcement, or, do you know what I mean? Like, there's always a bigger scam. And I don't know how to say that respectfully. So Durwood, I mean no offense, but a conspiracy theorist would be more likely to believe everything that they were told in a situation like this. And giving him the benefit of the doubt in that he truly wanted to get answers and help find the kids. And I believe probably still does. So no shade to Durwood. I wish things were different. I really do. But I believe that he believed that what he was told. And I think that he really thought that he was making a difference positively. This is great, isn't it? I love being Switzerland. People that know me know me. I saw him in chat the other day while I was in the bushes. He's different. Who's that? Durwood? Durwood is not the head of the state? By no means. He's not even the rattler at the butt end. Literally nothing. He is a dude who is related to people involved and had a weigh-in with Daniel and really truly thought that he could get the answers, that he could solve this mystery. And I think it went sideways for him in more ways than one, you know? Joe is super woke, but the sex offender registry is a no-brainer in the US. It's usually an uncle, family, friend, etc. People just need to know who to avoid with their kids. CSA by strangers. Well, yeah, but I mean, Joe, I can debate you, and this is not the place for it, but you never know anybody, okay? So if you're, sometimes there are red flags, absolutely, but sometimes they're not. So by being a good parent and not trusting your kids to be alone with anybody, and in some cases not even your partner, and how do you do that in this day and age? It's hard to protect your kids. It really is. Oh, number 2, thank you. I have no idea what you're agreeing with. I feel like I'm behind in chat again. I gave my young children secret passwords. Excellent. Did they ever have to use it? Leilani Simon is an example of a mother convicted of 2 felony murder counts, 1 malice murder count, concealing a death, reporting a false crime, and 14 counts of making false statements to law enforcement. Yeah, poor little Quentin. It'll be interesting to see this as it goes through, if we ever get a resolution to the investigation part, just to watch what kind of charges may come up, court proceedings, plea deals, anything like that, right? It'll be interesting. Agreed. Right. He was saying here, yes, they will believe only the most outrageous, ridiculous things. Conspiracy theorists, yeah. For a criminal polygraph test in Canada, the process typically involves 3 phases: pre-test interview, in-test phase, and post-test interview, allegedly. You're correct. Henry, in the US, our conservatives are covering up for our sex offending president. Joe? Ooh. If I taught my kids that even if mom and dad knew the person doesn't make it okay to go off with them. You have to. Durwood definitely believes what he's saying. 100%. I believe Durwood was onto something, but took. And I mean, I have no. Look, when it comes to Durwood and what he was tracking down, he was tracking down real information that he was given. I really believe that. And I really do believe that I won't say ruined his life, but he lost a lot, and he put a lot at stake to run down those leads. But in my opinion, and I've told Durwood this too, but in my opinion, if the kids were out there alive and being hidden somewhere, I believe they would have been seen by now. I believe that they would have been found by now. Especially because I know people have tipped names in. I know people have tipped information in. I cannot believe that they would not have been found by now. We're going on 6 months, you guys. 6 months. No comment. We could always ask that, Taylor. Truthful means the examiner believes you were honest during the test, but it's more of an opinion, not the official result. It's how your body reacts to stress, I guess. The stress of a test that's been. What about Durwood's ego? I think it's possible that somewhat, but I think his main goal was to help Patty get answers. I truly do. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right, but I do believe that his motives were innocent. I think that he truly thought that he could help. And I mean, let's face it, he was able to get close to Daniel. Daniel, as far as I'm aware, still trusts him. You know, it's unfortunate that the information that Durwood had and went public with took everybody on such a turn that we've got so much negativity in this community now, where it should only be about figuring out what happened to Jack and Lily based on facts. So if you're going to come out and say, well, I heard this and I heard that and I believe this and I believe that, and it's got nothing to back it up at all, and you're not going to give your sources, and you can't even get a small hint of where you think the kids might be from the people giving you that information, then I wish they would have the ability to question the information, especially if their leads are not finding the kids after 5.5 months. So ego, maybe at some point might have been. I truly don't think so anymore. I know he enters the odd chat room here and there, but I don't think he's joining any live streams. I don't think that he's going off anymore or whatever. When my children were younger, children find fingerprinted and photograph them. We had cards. Yes, I did too. I have both my kids and even some of their hair. I still have them somewhere. But yeah, they were fingerprinted and everything. And actually, there was, possibly is still, a serial killer in Edmonton and Calgary. I believe that cases are connected. But even sex workers in Edmonton were filling out these cards and giving DNA and fingerprints and stuff so that if anything happened to them, they could be easily identified. And somebody that did have one of those cards done did in fact get murdered by this person, and that's how they identified her remains years later, through her card. Fun fact. According to AI, my favorite, the RCMP used polygraphs for the primary purpose to provoke a confession. Police can and will deceive suspects about the test results to try to elicit a statement. Yeah, it's not like the States where it's, entrapment and all this other stuff in the States. The police here are allowed to lie to a suspect. We've got the whole Mr. Big, or Big Brother, Mr. Big, I think. Mr. Big operations that are successful more times than not. And it's perfectly legal. Durwood is the snake's armpit. Joe, you're not wrong, but he is one that can start a lot of orange shit in this space. Better not to mention that one. I don't know what that means. Sorry. I should put new nails on too. Sounds like a problem I want to have. No, it was something that they knew of, maybe something from a movie or a dinosaur thing. Dinosaur, nothing so easy, but thanks for asking. No idea. Hi, Lindsay. I would love to know more about the drones used. All right, you know what? We're so far behind in chat, and I haven't even pulled up the purpose of my... What about Picton? Robert Picton? You guys, quit Tubi. I think if you guys have the app, it's called Tubi. There's Pig Farmer documentary on there. It's pretty good. I just watched it the other day. I'm not going to use that. I want to read all of your stuff, but at the same time, I can't. So, I'm going to... I thought I had a thing where I could stop sharing. There I am. Whoa. All right. What were we going to watch? Oh, right. Clutch Them Pearls. Oh, I have to go on my other account because I don't... Oh, no. I think because my other account, my Charmaine YouTube or Google, whatever it is, that's where I have all like my memberships and stuff. But I'm pretty sure I pay for family premium on YouTube, so I shouldn't get ads on this. But let me just... Hopefully I'm subscribed on this channel. Oh shit, I'm not. Okay, oops. There, now I am. Don't tell Justin. But I am on my other channel, so we'll just go over there. How long are we? Perfect. I think I'm making good time today. Jared is definitely still going off in chats. He was mouthing off the other night in DT's live. He's all mouth and big feeling and won't answer any questions. Yeah. How can you argue? You cannot argue. I can't believe there's 90 people watching here. Stop it. All right. What did he do yesterday? Anybody remember? He's on right now. Damn. All right. All right. I am going to play this, okay, you guys? Thank you, Canadian Cat Lady. I feel like I'm all over the place. Does Durwood have an alibi for May 1st or May 2nd? I don't know. And I mean, not accusing, absolutely. And I think that he would probably take that the wrong way, but I try to put myself in other people's positions. And even though it's fair to say that Durwood unfortunately kind of brought all this on himself, I can understand why he would be so defensive every time anybody brings anything to him. Do you know what I mean? So, like, I get it. Doesn't mean that we're trying to attack him or accuse him, but it's really difficult to ask him questions because at this point he is so defensive. He's hyper defensive at this point. So the shortened one, what? His live? Damn it! I can't do that. Yes, ma'am. Can you messenger it to me? This is for people in chat. They can click on that. I can't click on stuff because I've got it here. It's like an hour or so in ish. Let's do it this way, yes, ma'am. And then if I'm totally out to lunch, you can email it to me. I don't care. We're gonna do it this way first. But I've got where I think it starts, and I'm gonna play it for a little bit. And I'm pretty sure this is right when I come back. I'm pretty sure. Okay? So, but is it this easy? Can I share screen and then window? Yes. Perfect. Beautiful. Hi, Sunshine, on a rainy day. And everybody else that I've missed, I'm sorry. Baubles and dolls, I agree with you. I do. You were on a 3-month vacation, Sunshine, on a rainy day? Like real vacation? Because that's a hell of a vacation for 3 months. Anyways, all right, so here we go. The other one just starts right at the spot you want. Damn it. I wish I could do that, but am I close here? Yes, ma'am. This is like an hour and 30 minutes in. I'm pretty sure. Thanks, Rory. I'm trying. If my daughter wasn't 23, she would have shoes like that. I have no idea what you guys are talking about. Focus. Okay. And why doesn't this give me an option to do like feeder mode? You know, when you can get most of your screen and not full screen? Whatever. Okay. Unmute. Now I'm going to mute myself and then I'm going to hit play so I don't get that echo. It's around 116, you think? That's too far? Thanks for telling me. Oh, you're right too. Look at that. 116. Well, he's pulling Sunny's up at like 112. You guys still want me to go to 116? To 120-ish? 116? All right, I see it, and I'm gonna start it at 115. I am cutting the difference, and we're doing it. You said 116, I'm at 115. 120, you said? You guys get to fight it out in chat, so I'm doing it. I'm doing it right here, right now. Now I'm muting myself. Fight amongst yourselves. There's no sound on Justin? On the actual shit. What in the ever loving. I should be. Do I have sound for me? Because there should be sound. Because we got unshare it, and I'm going to share it again. Share screen. Clutch them pearls. That ain't him. Window. There we go. There we go. There we go. And there. Okay. I got a warning. I don't care. He's not gonna copyright strike me. Okay. Here we go again. I gotta mute myself though, because otherwise you guys get an echo. So it should work this time. Let me know ASAP if it doesn't.
Right. And then he goes, after I got back down from the cabin sitting, holding the same position, running. Okay. Same position, Meadow. I ran into the house and did Lansdowne Road. I never seen a blanket in the tree, by the way. Going out to the railway tracks on that road, turning and going back, doing Lansdowne Station Road. Motherfuck. Holy shit. Holy fucking shit. Daniel wrote this. Daniel wrote this before the documents came out. Motherfucker. Hold on. Sorry, guys. Hold on. Where's the fucking one with the documents? Hold on. Okay. Listen to this. Listen to this. Daniel wrote this to Sonny. Daniel wrote this to Sonny a while back. You're getting it. Yep, you're getting it. Daniel says, after I got back down from the cabins, Malaya was standing in the same position holding Meadow. I ran into the house and did Lansdowne Road. I never seen a blanket in the tree, by the way. Meaning he put the fucking blanket in the tree, in my opinion. Going out to the railway tracks, who heard that they saw who said that someone was at the railroad tracks and quiet for a couple minutes and then went back to fucking Highway 289? Do you guys hear me? Do you get what I'm saying? Do you get what I'm saying? The neighbor said this back in the beginning. Daniel said this fucking 2 months ago, and the fucking documents came out. He's telling. Oh, shit, a brick, man. Yes. Yes. They're not lying. We just fucking proved it. Yes, hold on. I'm gonna play something. I gotta fix something. So I'm just gonna play this for 1 second. We're gonna get back to it. Daniel just fucked himself up here again.
Hearing detailed accounts from neighbors who were awake in the quiet hours before 4-year-old Jack and 6-year-old Lily Sullivan disappeared from their home in Pictou County. The children were reported missing from their home at 10:01 on the morning of Friday, May 2nd. According to court
Listen.
documents, neighbor Brad Wong told police he heard a loud vehicle coming and going 3 or 4 times after midnight and into the early hours of the morning. Wong said his house is at an elevated position from the children's home on Gerlach Road in Lansdowne, and he could see vehicle lights over the treetops. He said the vehicle would drive off in the distance and he could hear it stop and then return. He said it remained in earshot the entire time. Another neighbor, Justin Smith, told RCMP that at 1:30 a.m., he heard a car turn around by the railroad tracks near the area of Gerlach Road and Lansdowne Station Road. He said it made a noise.
Get it? Get it? Yeah. Daniel said this text months ago. Now we're learning about the documents, about the account of what they witnessed. Fucking got it.
shot the entire time. Another neighbor, Justin Smith, told RCMP that at 1:30 a.m., he heard a car turn around by the railroad tracks near the area of Gairloch Road and Lansdowne Station Road. He said it made a noise, then the vehicle was quiet for about 2 minutes, then drove off towards Lairg Road. Smith told police he later spoke with Wong, who informed him the vehicle was the children's stepfather, Daniel Martel. The court records also detail Martel's account of the evening. He told police he went to bed fairly early and didn't wake up until light the next morning. The document said the children's mother, Malaya Brooks Murray, told police she went to bed around 9 p.m. She said Martel stayed up and she doesn't know what he did. Brooks Murray has not responded to our request for comment. In several interviews, though, Martel has told CBC he had nothing to do with the children's disappearance. And in a phone interview Friday, Martel said no one from the family.
Excuse me. Okay. I'll say it again because some of y'all aren't getting it. I was reading this account from Mr. Mathtel. This is from a couple months ago. He sent this to Sonny whenever he wasn't really talking. Sonny said, Daniel, give me an account of everything that happened. Daniel says right here, months ago, after I got back from the cabins, Malaya was standing in the same position holding Meadow. I ran into the house and did Lansdowne Road. I never seen the blanket in the tree, by the way. Now, right here. Well, he says I went down Lansdowne Road. Going out to the railway tracks. On that road, turning and going back down Lansdowne Station Road, following it back to 289 and finishing the trip by going up the trail beside my house right to where the RV is facing into the driveway. The fucking neighbors said this verbatim. Fuck yes. And they said it months ago. Yes, 289 toward Lyric or whatever that place is. I thought it's, hold on, 1 second. Hold on. The fuck? Let me see here. Can someone send me the document uh just where he talks about this, the neighbor? I've got it, but I don't know where it's at right now. Hold on. Shit, wrong one. Reddit DT show. Boom.
Yeah, she was actually laying beside me with my
Trips. This was the backpack for trips.
Yeah. with the disappearance.
Hold on. Give me a second. Remember, there's
Back
always
door,
some truth.
back sliding door, got into the house.
Remember, there's always some truth in some of what they're telling us. They have to have an anchor to their lie. Mm-mm-mm.
Grabbed the keys off the end table because there was two sets of keys, right? And I didn't take my phone. Well, I don't remember taking my phone because there's no service out there anyway. Not like I can use it. So
So he didn't take his phone that night, in my opinion.
I left my phone on the end table. I'm pretty sure I left it on the end table.
Hmm.
Investigators would know that for 100%. So
And-
grab my keys, grab the keys, ran up to the Nissan Pathfinder, and that's when I started to search the dirt roads and the culverts, right? So I went up Lansdowne Road,
Here we go.
and I already told investigators this, but that blanket was not there in that tree.
Which direction were you heading?
That would be coming out the end of the driveway, and I'm going right toward Lansdowne Road,
Mhm.
over the tracks, and then hanging a hard right.
So you were coming the direction that would have been visible to you, and you didn't see it.
Charmaine. 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 Okay, listen to this, Charmaine. I was just reading something. Do you remember when Daniel sent this text to Sonny? When Sonny said, Daniel, send me something of an account of what happened that day. Remember that? Daniel sent this. Daniel sent this. And I had some problems with it above there. Okay. Yep, sure do. Perfect. Now listen to this. This is Daniel's text. After I got back down from the cabins, Malaya was standing in the same position holding Meadow. This is the important part. I ran into the house and did Lansdowne Road. Lansdowne Road. I never seen the blanket in the tree, by the way. Okay. Listen to this. Going out to the railroad tracks on that road, turning and going back down Lansdowne Station Road, following it back to 289 and finishing the trip by going up the trail beside the house, the right of the RV facing into the driveway. That is exactly what the neighbor said. That's exactly what the fucking neighbor said. He came down there, went to the fucking railroad tracks. Everything was quiet for a couple minutes. right? Everything was quiet a couple minutes. Well, Kate, he says it's Friday morning. He says it's Friday morning. In my opinion, that is Thursday night into the early hours of Friday morning. By 5 o'clock, all of this is taken care of. That is his anchor. A part of it happened. Yes, that's the anchor. But it happened throughout the night. This is exactly what the fucking document says. The trail meaning the old road blocked by a downed tree. But I'll tell you this, what I think happened. But Daniel went to bed early. Sure he did. Sure he did. Sure he did. I know. We know what road he took. I'm pretty sure. Oh, he fucked. He fucked up. Thank you, Wolfie. Oh fuck, I can't see. Hold on. 1 second. Let me see which one it is. It's blurry, Wolfie. V1 personal info. Okay, on May 17th. I might have it. Let me just see here. I got it. Hold on. Listen to this. Listen to the report. May 17th, 2025. Justin Smith said he was on good term with the McKenzies family and helped Janie out in the past. He did not know Malaya, Daniel, Jack, or Lily specifically. On Thursday night into Friday morning, he was up until 1 a.m. on Facebook. Around 1:30 a.m., he heard a car on Highway 289 turn around by the fucking railroad tracks near the area of Gerlach Road and Lansdowne Station Road. It made a noise and went quiet. The vehicle was quiet for about 2 minutes and then drove toward Larrig Road, which is 289. He later spoke to Brad, who informed him Daniel's vehicle came and went 5 or 6 times that night. Wong said the car Smith heard was Daniel. Smith helped with the search Friday, Saturday, but did not find anything. There you fucking go. Thank you, Charmaine, for becoming a member. Appreciate it. Yep. And you see, Daniel's saying the same thing. He's saying the same thing, but he's just saying it happened Friday morning before 10 a.m. Neighbors are saying, no, motherfucker, I was up. I was up. No bueno. This was throughout the night. They're all saying the same thing. It's just the timing. It's just the timing.
So, what do we think of that? And I mean, my big thing was, okay, and the reason why I think I was confused was Because, okay, so if neighbor said this is what he heard at 1:30 in the morning or whatever, how does that equal Daniel being the one driving the car? Because now Daniel has explained to Sunny that this was the route he took when he went searching in the morning. And I saw a Freudian slip in chat, maybe, but I'd like to hear from you guys. Connect the dot. And I don't know for sure. I'm confident that the RCMP have had people monitoring YouTube, chat rooms, Facebook, any social media for months. And the reason why I know this is because they've specifically requested information that has happened on certain channels. So whether that came from tips or not, I don't know, but it's more than likely they have people monitoring social media. So with that in mind, do we really think that the RCMP wouldn't have put that together and questioned Daniel about it? And I know everybody thinks that I give the RCMP too much credit. I get it. I really do. But it just, at the time, this was a good catch. It was an excellent catch. And I'm surprised nobody else in this space hasn't done that, because I am, I'm kind of a fair weather YouTuber at this point. I've got a lot of shit going on personally. So I'm not as on top of it as everybody else. So it surprised me that it took this long for others to catch that, even though we just got Justin Smith's information. But to see it come out live on a live stream Justin was doing was impressive, no matter if it was a Freudian slip or not. I think that it was a good catch, maybe a good find. But can't it be explained? And this is my question with everything, because there's so much doubt in everything that we hear and everything that we see. And now, what was it that came out? DT, I think, and I hate talking about that, but DT did a video today or last night or whatever. The neighbors lied. What was that based on? And that was after Justin made this find. I think very shortly after. But the human mind is fascinating to me, where we can all look at the same information and perceive it totally different ways. So I don't want to keep circling this wagon too hard, just because there's only so far we can go with it. But I do want to brainstorm all the things that it could mean. And I understand that a lot of you think that you believe that he's just saying, kind of recounting what he did the night before when he was doing something nefarious, and he was just recounting that to Sunny as though he did that during the day? Or do we think that he did that during the day to retrace his steps that he took at night? Or Is it a coincidence? Is it a common path? But turning around at the train tracks is a little bizarre. So what do we think, guys? Overthinking brain just kills me some days. And Daniel found out that the neighbor heard something. So that Justin is reading of Sunny's messages, those conversations with Daniel and Sunny happened like 2 months ago, or maybe more. I can't remember the exact date. I could go back in Messenger and find it, but it would take a long time. But this information was given to the RCMP, I believe, on May 17th, it says right here. So the RCMP had this information for a long time. So I'm wondering if Daniel ever did tell the RCMP that route that he took that morning to go search. And if the RCMP pieced that together, wait a minute, we've heard that same route by Justin Smith, hearing a vehicle the night before. And is that just a crazy coincidence? Or wait, in the morning when he searched, didn't they say his, I just blanked out on the vehicle name, was clean and so was his clothes? So would that mean he took that route earlier than washed it off? I mean, it would have to be if it was the same vehicle, but I don't know. Good question. Is Justin here? What are you talking about, Ben? What? If they didn't catch it, they have now. The RCMP is still gathering information, in my opinion. Law enforcement won't tip him off until they have enough for charges. They have one bite at the apple, so to speak. Right. And I mean, I've said it before that just because we haven't seen any charges or arrests even at this point, that doesn't mean that they've taken what they have to the Crown and requested charges, right? If they take their evidence that they have gathered and they take it to the Crown prosecutor and say, we want to bring charges or arrest this individual, the Crown will go through that evidence. And if they don't think it's enough to successfully prosecute somebody, they'll give it back to the RCMP and say, no, bring me more. I need more than this. So, Seawood, I've asked this a million times, but maybe someone will know. Why was Daniel on foot by himself when Jack, Janie, and Justin picked him up with the ATV? I mean, I can ask him. I can see if he'll answer. But to me, so if you've got nothing to hide, even if there's just discrepancies and inconsistencies for whatever reason, I don't even care about the reasons anymore. When it comes to something like that, like specifically this question, I don't see any reason why an answer couldn't easily be given. Because if there's an innocent explanation for it, then explain it innocently. If that makes sense. And like, I don't know if he's watching or whatever, but in my opinion, Daniel's statement confirms the neighbor's statement. It's just Daniel lied about the time to fit the lost in the woods or abduction. Oh, I get you. Okay. Charmaine, I assume you sleuths all amaze me. I feel that Justin did well. DT is so into Daniel and his lies. I don't know. Like for me, if I was, I can't relate, but if I was Daniel, I would be getting pretty sick and tired of DT myself. Like DT is stuck in those woods or stuck on the neighbors. And if Daniel really thinks the kids are being hidden, like manipulatively or not, but if that's what he's trying to say, then why is he still entertaining DT? I don't understand it. To me. ATV was clean. DT's video was before Justin's video last night. Also, DT tried saying it was RCMP update when it was not clearly agreed. You said it, not me. My nails are too long? Don't judge me. How dare you? I mean, they're not manicured or anything. I don't pay for that stuff. I usually have my nails longer. What? Don't even come at me. In my opinion, DT is like a weatherman who hasn't done his homework. I love you guys. You're so great. He just confirmed the neighbors are correct. But different times. Different times. And that's my question. Were peeps, Lansdowne peeps, Daniel Martel, listening to the police scanner during the search? I don't know, but I think it's safe to say that Daniel probably wasn't, because the police were there. And they were, I don't know. I said, my partner, not going to keep repeating. I understand what you're saying. Yes, ma'am, calm down. Seawood, wasn't Daniel up in the woods searching? He said he took off running into the woods. Yeah, but then he came back, and that's when he saw Janie, or no, Malaya on the phone with 911, right? And then I believe he jumped in the vehicle and went and did his searching. Or was it the other way around? Because now he was telling Sonny he went in the house, grabbed his keys, or was that after he got back from running into the woods? I always thought that he was up on the pipeline after he came back from checking the little forts or cabins or whatever. And he was up on the pipeline with the vehicle. Then Janie said she and Justin ran into him near the pipeline trail, and he was by himself on foot. This is what I mean. Like, I am literally just confused by it all. And if it's an innocent mistake or misremembering of details from a very stressful day, that's fine. Then if there's an innocent explanation, just innocently explain it to me. I'm more than willing to listen. Oh, I have FedEx is here. I think maybe perhaps my microphone is here, guys. Maybe I retracted his track because he could see better during the morning. Look at you go. Retraced. Daniel, if you're watching, just explain it to me. Give me the innocent explanation. I'd be more than happy to share it. When 3 people from the property that the children went missing from lie, that equals a suspicious act. You're not wrong. Somebody had a good question. Y'all have good questions. Y'all really do. He and Jeannie have both tried to discredit the neighbor from the beginning. They really have. But if you think about these dates, and if the RCMP were questioning Daniel for like 4 hours, I think it's safe to assume that he was questioned about this stuff. And if they didn't say, well, your neighbor heard this, then he could have surmised that the neighbor heard or saw his vehicle. Does that make sense? Daniel didn't tell them Justin showed us it in the documents. Amen, Belinda. Did Daniel hear the witness? I don't think so. I think it's safe to say that Daniel was not paying attention to the police scanner radio just because the police were all over the place. They would have heard that unless he was close enough to an officer to hear it on a radio that was on an officer or searcher or something. That's possible. Yeah. The pipeline isn't far, so we've seen many, many times now Janie and Daniel up on the pipeline, pointing back towards the house, or at the house pointing up towards the pipeline. So it's right there. It's literally right there. It's not far whatsoever. No coincidence. Just Daniel trying to get ahead of the narrative as usual. Charmaine, I think it was Daniel's black vehicle. Vehicle switcheroo. Who is covering for who? And I keep saying, and this is the message that I want to get out to all the people that are involved. When we lie and we absolutely refuse to clear up the inconsistencies or discrepancies, if there's an innocent explanation, but we're refusing, then everybody is going to assume you're lying on purpose. And for what purpose do people generally lie? We lie to protect ourselves and we lie to protect others. So if it's an innocent explanation, just clear it up, right? And if it's not easily explained, then there has to be more to it. There just has to be. There has to be. When you have two small children who are missing, and we're seeing no action from the mother, polar opposite of action from the mother, publicly, and we're seeing what we're seeing from the stepdad, it doesn't give you a good, warm, fuzzy feeling that the family gives a shit to actually find the kids. And I like to believe and trust the people have the best intentions, unless they're lying for a purpose. So if there's an innocent explanation, I just would be more than happy to put it out there. The vehicle could also be Justin Martel. Daniel's statement about him was weird. It was weird, but I am probably the only one out there that doesn't think Justin Martel was involved. I think Justin has spotted something important. Maybe RCMP need a huge whiteboard so they can put everyone of DM's communications side by side, see if any more leaks. I would hope they already have. RCMP need enough evidence so it will stick when they need to lay charges, right? And they don't lay charges, right? The Crown will. So he retraced his steps in the vehicle from earlier that morning. The problem now is that Daniel has found a super friend in DT who bails him out on his answers, so he gets away with it. I'm not a fan, but I also don't want to talk shit. So if Daniel used his car, the RCMP would look for the oil spots coming from the car. It was leaking oil badly, and that would leave his trail. Begs the question, what was Janie raking? Can I say that out loud? Yes, ma'am. Well, I didn't say it. You said it. Don't think they used his car. In my opinion, they used the black truck. Did Brad mention if the vehicle he heard was similar to Malaya's vehicle? Not that I know of. How could they use this tip? That's what I am wondering. And the tip came in early enough, Ori. I think that I give the RCMP too much credit. I agree. I get it. But they questioned Daniel for 4 hours by this point, May 17th. And more after. I mean, they clearly had many discussions with him over the last almost 6 months. So, I mean, is that why Daniel decided to tell Sonny a detailed revamping of his search Friday morning? Maybe. Map says 30-minute walk, 6-minute drive. Just hang on, you guys.
Yes, they all know. Ash Cash, my blood pressure's up right now. Your blood pressure, I'm seeing fucking stars. Oh my God. Technically, it did. They need to re-ask that fucking lie detector test. Daniel, were you driving anywhere Friday morning between, midnight and 5 a.m.? Ask that. That's what they need to ask. Holy shit. I don't even know what to say now. Listen to what he says here.
I'm not sure if she's still on the phone with 911. She might have been on speakerphone of this dispatch. And so I say, I'm jumping in the car. So I ran inside. I tried to go into the front door. Door's locked. Ran through the back door, the back sliding door, got into the house,
Joyous.
grabbed the keys.
Joyous. Me either. Me either. I pray all the time, Lord, let me see something if I need to see it. I think I know the area. I feel like me and Wolfie and Darlene and a few of us, I think we're getting closer to a search area. I hope. I'm praying.
Off the end table because there was two sets of keys, right? And I didn't take my phone. Well, I don't remember taking my phone because there's no service out there anyway. Not like I can use it. So I left my phone on the end table. I'm pretty sure I left it on the end table.
He left his phone on the end table that night. He said he didn't take his phone. Didn't take his fucking phone. And I wonder, and this is my feeling. When they says it's silent for a couple minutes? I don't know if he actually means a couple minutes, like as in 2 minutes, or he just noted it was silence. You're not really paying so much attention to it, but just going back, I wonder if he went right there Hold on. I am on to your ass, Daniel. 1 second. Said he could hear it within all the time. Might have not been that night. It might have been the next morning. I don't know. But, right here is where the turned around or something. And he says he comes on this road. But I wonder, when it was silent that night, was he in this area, parked it for a couple minutes, and threw a blanket in there or a couple shoes?
So what do you, I'm just, sorry, the trial thing is still going on, so that was, court just let out here 10 minutes ago, so that was my update phone call, and I hate to do this, but I'm gonna cut this off right away. We're 2 hours, 12 minutes, I think, not bad, not bad. But I am for sure coming back tomorrow. I'm gonna try my best to do daily, if not every other day. Just talks like this, because as information comes out and as I continue to try to piece together the new information that's coming out at the very beginning, I think it all feeds into trying to figure out what actually happened from day one and revisiting all of the information that we have and just trying to find some kind of clarity. And I'm doing things the way I'm doing things in order to try to encourage dialogue from all sides. I don't want to be accusatory, and I'm doing my very best to keep the lines of communication open. And I do talk to people that I'm truly trying to give the benefit of the doubt to and the opportunity to brainstorm with me, open minds, and because what we're doing is not working, right? I truly appreciate the time and the energy that people like Justin and Sunny and Daphne and AB and everybody else that they're putting into this. And we're all working towards the same goal, to find out what happened to Jack and Lily. But everybody is kind of on the same freight train, if that makes sense. And I'm not a fool. I see everything. There's not a lot that gets past me, but I'm also not interested in throwing shade and casting blame on people who haven't been charged with any crime. I am 100% open to talking to absolutely everybody and anybody, and I truly appreciate everybody that comes in here and shares your thoughts. And it amazes me every time that I'm on here that we can stay respectful, we can have our thoughts, we can have our opinions, and we're not being venomous or toxic here. And there's no way that we are not going to figure out what happened to Jack and Lily. There's no way, as long as we all stay on this same path without being toxic and accusatory, and understand that nobody's been charged with anything and we just want answers. We all want the same thing. Most of us want the same thing. So we're going to continue this, and I am going to do my very best to do this on the daily. So again, thank you everybody. And I do I still have my grandbaby outro. I know that Nova has this thing with the baby and she's laughing and it's so super cute. And I have this, I have this whole obsession with my grandkids. But so my outro is my grandbaby daughter, and it's just the most adorable thing in the world. If you haven't seen it yet, stick around and watch it. And I will see everybody as soon as I can, probably tomorrow. Thanks, everybody. Have a great night.